So we started with one equation, I is equal to Im sine omega t plus phi. Then we found what is the value of Im. Im was simply Vm upon Z, where Z was under root r square plus xc minus xl square, and we find phi is equal to tan inverse x c minus xl upon r. So this is tan inverse of this, that means phi. So now these values completely satisfy this equation. So now current is known to us. What is current? So equation 7.21 is now completely satisfied with this value of phase angle and amplitude of the current. Now there are certain conditions. Suppose in first condition, if xc is greater than xl, so what will happen? If xc is less than xl, then what is happen? So let us see these conditions. So this is our phase angle. So first case we are taking this xc is greater, this is less. So what we get? We get some kind of positive value. We get some kind of positive value because r can never be negative. If xc is more, xl is less, we get a positive value. So this phi is positive, because if this is positive, phi is also positive. And the circuit is predominantly capacitive. So what we say? We say if phi is positive, if this angle is positive, we will say circuit is predominantly, that means mainly capacitive, because this xc is more. Consequently, the current in circuit leads the source voltage. That means current will be ahead of voltage. As we have seen in capacitor case, in capacitor current I is ahead. In case of inductance, I is lagging, I lags. So if the capacitance is more, current is ahead, and this phi phase angle is positive. If xc minus xl is, this is means, that means capacitance is less than inductive reactance. This xl is more, xc is less, then phi is negative. This value turns out to be negative if this is more and this is less. So what happens in that case? In that case, circuit is predominantly inductive. So this circuit is mainly inductive because XL is more than XC. In that case, current in the circuit lags the source voltage. Current will lag. So what we have seen, if this is more, so everything is positive, current will lead. Suppose if XL is more, then we get a negative value. In that case, circuit will be inductive and current will lag. So these are the consequences of choosing the different value of C and L. And we know XL is omega L and XC is equal to 1 by omega C. So using different value of capacitance and inductance gives different value of XL and XC. So based on the value of capacitance and inductance, we can determine what is the phase angle. Now let us understand this diagram. What is happening in this diagram? This is a phasor diagram. So here this is a single phasor diagram for all the components. So phasor diagram of V and I. So this is a single phasor diagram. So this is a single current and this is a single voltage. So here we have assumed XC is greater than XL. So this is a phasor diagram when we have assumed XC is greater than XL. That means circuit is mainly capacitive. In case of capacitance, current will be ahead of voltage. So as we see, this current is in anti-clockwise direction, that means current is ahead of voltage with phase angle of phi, and we have already seen what is the value of phi. Phi is tan inverse xc minus xl upon r. Now let us see in wave diagram what is happening in wave diagram. So this is voltage V. So here what we are seeing, voltage V. So this is going as this. Now if we see current, so this is our current. So we see that current peaks well before, so current peaks before the voltage, but here it is not exactly 90-degree angle. It is not exactly 90 degree. It is some angle which is not equal to 90 degree. Here also we see this angle is not 90 degree. But again, due to capacitive nature of the circuit, current is peaking before the voltage. So this is our phasor diagram for LCR circuit with a condition. What condition? XC is greater than XL. Suppose if it was reversed, XL minus XC, that means this XL is greater, this XC is smaller, then what will happen? This XL is greater, XC is smaller. So this phasor diagram will reverse. So this side voltage and current will come, suppose this side. So there is some angle, so current is lagging in case of XL greater than XC. So voltage suppose remains same. So what will happen? Current will peak after voltage. So in that case current will peak after the voltage. But we have made for a single case. What is that case? When capacitive reactance XC is greater than XL. So in that case voltage peak is here, current peak is here. So current peak is coming at an earlier time and this voltage peak is coming at a later time. So current is ahead of voltage because circuit is capacitive in nature. So in this way we found out the what is the solution. So let us understand some of the problems with this. So we have obtained the amplitude and phase of the current for LCR series circuit. What was the technique? Technique of phasors. But there are some problems, certain disadvantages. First problem, the phasor diagram says nothing about the initial conditions. So phasor is not telling about what are the initial conditions. One can take any arbitrary value of t, that means we can start at any time t, as done throughout this chapter, and draw different phasors which show the relative angle between different phasors. So with this value of t changed, so we can get different value of phasors, different angle between phasors. The solution so obtained is called steady state solution. So this is called a steady state solution when current is now steady in the circuit, but it is not showing or it is not telling anything about the initial condition. And this is not a general solution. This is not a general solution. We can put initial condition at any time t is equal to t1. T1 could be any time. So initial conditions are not satisfied with this, or we cannot tell anything about the initial conditions. What are the initial conditions? What happened in the starting? This is only a steady state conditions when current in all these three elements, this is R, this is C and this is L. So when this current in all these elements stabilized to Im. So this solution is only valid in steady state. Additionally, we do not have a transient solution. So what is the meaning of transient? Transient is something that is changing with time. So initially when the steady state condition was not reached, that information is not there. So what happened during that time when this steady state was not reached? So we don't have that information which exists even for V is equal to 0. Suppose if V is equal to 0, what happened in that case? The general solution is sum of the transient solution and the steady state solution. So now we use the analytical solution, that means mathematical method, to calculate the transient solution and steady state solution, and combination of that is called a general solution. After a sufficiently long time, the effects of transient solutions die out and the behavior of current is described by steady state solution. So let us understand this, what they are trying to say. So they are saying there are two parts in the solution. Suppose this is our solution. One is transient solution, another is steady state solution. So in the initial conditions, when things are not fixed, things are changing. Things are changing. Current and voltage, the angle between them on their relations are changing. These changes are called transient solutions when things are changing. After some time, these transient solutions die out because things get into steady state solution. Then steady state solution is valid. This phasor technique gives us the steady state solution, not the transient state solution. Hence, we must find a solution which is valid for both transient state and steady state. So this is only valid for steady state solution when transient solution is almost 0. That means all the things have already happened and now the current and voltage are stabilized and steady state is reached. So next we will see how to solve these problems and by analytical method.